3.72 acres, Spokane County, Washington. My name is McLaughlin. I'm going to introduce this property for you. While I talk, I'm going to roll through some of the photos, giving you an idea of what we're selling here. The other things I'm going to go over in this video is a location. So things like GPS coordinates, how to go visit this property on your own. I'm going to talk about access and what we're seeing, some of the feedback from our photographer. I'm also going to talk about how to do some of your own due diligence, what you can do with the property, things like land use and zoning. We're going to look at that. We're going to talk about utilities and see what's available to you. And I'm going to touch on that subject. So a lot of the things in this video are the most common questions I get when we have properties like this. And we're trying to build a self-service real estate model. So a lot of this information is going to be available here on our website. And let's get started with it. Now that you have an idea what this property looks like, you're seeing aerials, you're seeing the photos we have on our website. You've got a description here. You've got the acreage, you've got the county, you've got the parcel ID, zoning. So this is rural tract. And I'm going to elaborate on zoning in a minute, but let me first show you how to check out the location. Access notes. Access is going to be the biggest question on this property, and why. Let me show you that. So I've got one thing. It's a Google Earth link. You can use this. If you open this up, it's simply, if you have Google Earth Pro on your computer, it opens this up and you can see the property. You can look for natural features in the landscape. Hey, on the back, the south end of this property is a big open field. You know, it gets very dense inside of here. You can see that there's neighbors, right? So what does this tell me? There's a residence. Either they have a well and a septic system, or they're getting hooking up to city water and sewer. I do have somebody in our office checking on city water and sewer. If that's not available, I mean, you can always call the city about it, call the county about it, but if that's not available, you're going to have to put a septic and well in or use this property some other way. So these are things you can look for if you want to go visit it. There is actually a gate. There's roads being blazed back here. So some people are using these roads. I don't know if it's just people up to riffraff, you know, if it's these neighbors using it, if it's recreation, whatever it may be, the railroads right here. So I'm not quite sure. There is a gate here that somebody told me was constructed by the railroad because people were kind of trespassing back here on this property. So they wanted to stop that. One of the locals here recommended they put that in, and they did. Our photographer said he went right around it. And when we talked to the title company about access on this piece of land, this is what they told us. So it abuts a public right-of-way where Park Smith Drive widens on the east side of the railroad. Currently, there's an electronic gate when that opened right up, and our photographer pulled up based on his notes. So we did send somebody out there. We know now. The future owner will, either share that gate. They'll have to get it figured out with the railroad if that is true. Again, I can't confirm that. So that's something, we're selling this property as is. A buyer's going to have to look into some of that. We do have a lot of optimistic things pointing in the right direction, saying we do have public access from the title company and from the county when we talk to them. So what they're saying is that this is actually a public right of way along here, and saying that there's access to this property, which is great. This is a developable property in a really fastly growing county and area. So next thing you can do if you want to go visit this land, you can look up the GPS coordinates, just like somebody's address. We offer self-service showings. You're welcome to go visit this property anytime. You're going to use the GPS coordinates. You're going to use our aerial photos and maybe some other information, Market Street, Stoneman Road, things of that nature. So you're going to look at, it should be pretty easy to identify. I mean, you got a train track here, you've got this dirt road going through it, you got some other guy's property. So you should have a pretty good idea of getting out to this property using GPS, understanding where you're at, cruising back there. So again, we're looking at a property here in Meade, Washington. I want to give you a bird's eye view before I move on to the next item. We talked about utilities. We're contacting the city about water and sewer. Otherwise, it's septic well. We talked about how to access. We're using the GPS coordinates here. We talked about the gate that you're going to run into and what we know about the gate. The last thing I want to touch on is the zoning. What you can do with this property. What does RT mean? I have it pulled up, and we have a link to view county information. Get online, Google county zoning uses. This will come up. This is a huge document, 133 pages. So at the beginning of this, and I won't even scroll back up to it. I'll go one here. And you get definitions, right? You get a table of index and definitions. Where we're looking is page 133 in this specific case. We're looking at rural zones matrix because our property is zoned RT, rural traditional. And these are the uses: agricultural uses, residential uses. So it does allow, and there is a description for L. We should maybe go up to that. There's a definition for it. L and N, let's see if we have that. RT, there's a definition of RT, and we have that on the website as well. Permitted uses are going to probably be P, L is going to be L, or limited uses. You can read that there. Yep, exactly here. So it's got the definitions for you as well. So just going through this, it gives you basically all these possible uses, and you can look through and see what RT, rural traditional, fits for based on what you're looking to buy land for. If it's limited use, it'll tell you kind of what that means. So, these uses are allowed if they comply with the developmental standards of the zone and specific performance standards. So the developmental standards you can get with the county. Our office is trying to put together a little PDF document because it's a really long set of development standards. So we'll try and put that together, get it on the website in some sort of link or PDF format for people to look at. But that's it. This is 3.72 acres in Spokane County in Meade. My name is McLaughlin. We offer owner carry with all of our properties. We offer discounts for cash buyers as well. Give us a call if you have questions. Hop on our website. There's a lot more great information on our blog and our homepage. Thanks for listening.